Okay. So tell me exactly what the slogan for your school, Fighting Sexy, what does it mean to fight sexy?
Well, it was something originally that like Rigel just would kind of say to me, just to kind of, cut the nerves down, cut the tension down a little bit before I would go out to fight. He'd be like, remember, anybody can fight hard, but we fight sexy. And Rigel's, he knows the kind of pressure that I feel just to show well for the school and to show well for him and everybody. Just, I mean, the pressure of winning or losing isn't as big as the pressure of showing well. And he would see me kind of getting nervous and stuff, and he just wanted me to kind of go out there and have fun, and he wanted to make sure that I went out there and had fun, and did what I can do, and just move the way that I can, and have fun while I'm doing it, and look good. So he would kind of joke around and say like, oh, make sure anybody can fight hard, but we fight sexy.
I've traveled up here with you guys, so I got to see your relationship. I've seen you fight. I've seen him yelling at you, and but in a really good way. And while he's in the corner, just losing his voice.
Yeah.
And then I see your relationship as trainer and student, and I see you guys are also friends. Talk about how, and you run the business together.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably spend almost every waking minute with each other. You know each other inside and out.
You know what? I'm super, super lucky to have ever met Rigel. I know for a fact, like, I know that the success that I have had, I could like pretty much directly attribute to like a very specific like things lining up,
Right.
and I really don't think that I would have found the success that I've had if I found a different place. I don't think that I would have got the right push. It's he's I don't know if you've ever read his knuckles before. He's got a lot of tattoos, but his knuckles say tough love, so that's really like it
It's
comes
a great
down
trainer
to that.
to have.
Exactly.
He says that on his knuckles.
Yeah, so I mean, really, it comes down to I know that if I put the work in, I can blindly listen to him, and he knows better than me,
Right.
and I don't ever have to question if it's gonna work or not. Like,
So he has like the controller, and you're like the video
exactly.
game.
You know what? It's funny, but that's exactly one of the best compliments I've ever gotten at a fight. Like right after I fought this really tough kid in California that came out gunning, and his nickname was Smoking Joe, and
Okay.
he would come out like he got shot out of a cannon, and he ripped me with the hardest body kick that I've ever felt, and I just was like, oh, this is gonna be a long night if this keeps up. And I got a little bit worried, but I knew that if I could just listen to Rigel, I could win, and then I ended up stopping him at the end of the second round. Like I put him down with a right hand, and it was the end of the night.
So
and,
you trust him that much?
Yeah, it was just like one of those things. I could hear what he was saying, and just do what he said. And after the fight, these guys that were in the front row, they're like, oh, it was great. It was like he was playing a Muay Thai video game. It was like everything that he said, you just did, and that to me was like a really big compliment. Even though it was like maybe them just like kind of joking around and saying it was funny, like that, like I just listened to him or whatever. But to me it was a really good compliment, because I was like, yeah, man, that's all I want to do is listen to him and do well by him, So, but it's also. It's good to have him in the corner, because I know that his Muay Thai is really, really good. I know that he comes from a fighting background, so I know, and I mean, he's still
very
fights.
knowledgeable.
Yeah, so he not only speaks about like what he knows about because of being a trainer, but he's been there before. You know what I mean? I can trust him because
he's still there.
Yeah, exactly. He's been exactly in my shoes.
So so let's flip it. You're in his corner when he fights.
Yeah.
Right. So how does that work?
So that's only happened a couple times. It's actually, I think, only happened twice where I was in his corner. One time I had fought the fight directly before. So I cornered him. I put a quarter vest on and a T-shirt on, but I saw my tie shorts on and anklets, didn't even put shoes on. And he did really well, and he listens really well. But it is weird to be his trainer, like holding pads for him and being in his corner and stuff. And it's weird to to like yell at him and look him in the eye and like tell him to buck up and stuff like that. It's like it's hard, but
You're
at the same
his stuff back
at the same time, like I know he trusts me. I know that he knows that I have enough experience now, and I'm just yelling what he would be yelling at me. Like I don't know Muay Thai other than through him.
Right.
So I mean I have my own style and I have my own strengths and weaknesses and stuff, and he has a totally different game plan and totally different style than I have, but we're from the same camp, and he knows he can trust me because it's just what he
Right.
would yell.
Right.
If he was on the outside yelling, he'd be yelling the same thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's one of those things. It's definitely a really weird position to be in, but it's pretty neat to know that I've come to that point as a trainer as well that he can actually trust me. He doesn't have to make a phone call to somebody else to come in.
Cool.
And I mean, he will get a lot of extra help from other people if he can. But he knows also that I'll be able to help him out, with anything that he needs.
All right, here's my last question for
Last
you.
question.
You have had some really notable fights with some very recognized fighters.
I got beat up by some famous people. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And with that being said, you seem on the constant edge of like challenging yourself, right? So where do you want your fight career to go?
I mean, like this is what I love. This is what I do, and I want to take it as far as I can. All the fights, like I do have a pretty good record, and I have fought some really top-notch guys. None of the guys that I've lost to that are like really big names, none of them I thought like I was outclassed.
Right.
I've gotten beaten by some really good guys, some guys that people on paper said like I should have never fought, or things like that. But I mean, I believe in myself, and I believe in my trainer setting up tough fights for me for a reason. He wouldn't send me in there to get eaten by some wolves. You know what I mean? So I'm very proud of the fact that I can say that I'm in their league. I'm in that class, that class of like these world class fighters that, and I got in there and I put some good stuff on them.
Yeah.
There are some fights that I mean the whole reason why I kind of made any sort of a name for myself was taking a lot of fights on short notice against guys that had better records than me, more experience, and were training hard for the fights, and I picked it up and I rose to the challenge, and I beat some guys that a lot of people wouldn't give me the chance to beat, and the only way that I'm going to get any better is by challenging myself and stepping in the ring with tough guys. I really am not a big believer in like the whole warm-up fight, like, take an easy fight to, I mean, there's definitely like a place for that in like boxing and stuff.
Yeah.
And in Muay Thai, there's days that's like training. Like some days I'll spar with people like, not quite my level, and I'll feel good because I can pick them apart and stuff. And then, but like with fights and stuff, you're like steel sharpens steel. You're not gonna, I joke around, and I've said this a couple times in interviews, but like you're not gonna get any better playing kickball with 9-year-olds. You gotta push yourself. You gotta, if you want to get yourself better, you got to get in there with people better than you. So I want to be world champion. I want to take this as far as I can. I don't know if I'll ever be there. I don't know really what type of success I will have. I'm really like honored to be kind of ranked where I am, and like it's a bit surreal to be, to know that I've taken this as far as I have. But if I just quit today, there's no way that I'd be able to live with myself to not know where I could take it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm gonna work as hard as I can and keep training, keep fighting all the time against world class guys, and hopefully one day I'll be world class.
I'm getting there. If you aren't already, if you don't think you are, but you are.
Thank you.
All right. Cool. Got it.